Imagine a world where you can't buy anything without permission, where every daily choice you make is monitored and logged into a database controlled by the leaders of your nation. A world where you could be forced to buy the things your government wants, or blocked from purchasing the things it doesn't. A world where your money may no longer be a tool of personal freedom, and instead one that could be used to control your every decision, action, and move. Well, that world may be closer than you think. In fact, in many ways, it's already here. This is Sigrid Kaag, the current finance minister of the Netherlands. On the 26th of October, her party submitted a new set of laws to Dutch Parliament, a bill that she says has been designed to stop illegal money laundering, but that many argue also infringes on personal privacy. The laws would require that all banks in the country be forced to track and keep records of any transactions above 100 euros, a limit that right now is set at 10,000 euros or more. This would give the Dutch government access to an incredible amount of personal data on its citizens, data it would be able to access at any time without any kind of warrant. Across the Atlantic, Joe Biden's government is seeking similar new laws in the US that would drop the bank reporting limit from $10,000 down to just $600. This has drawn criticism and has been called a massive search warrant without a warrant. However, US Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen brushed aside these concerns, suggesting that Americans have nothing to worry about, saying that the collection of this new data is nothing more than a few pieces of information about individual bank accounts. Oh, this is where CBDCs come in. A central bank digital currency is a new form of digital money. It's like cryptocurrency, but whereas crypto is decentralized and private, CBDCs are exactly the opposite. A CBDC would be completely owned and controlled by your government. They would hold your wallet, your money, and have access to all your financial data, including information on every transaction in your daily life. It would also make banks obsolete, as your account and wallet could be held by a government. Only a couple of years ago, CBDCs were considered hypothetical, but that is no longer the case. Just last week, the Federal Reserve launched a 12-week trial of its own CBDC, a trial supported by financial institutions like MasterCard, Citibank, HSBC, and Wells Fargo. But the US definitely isn't alone in creating a CBDC. They've been fully launched in 11 countries already. And according to the Atlantic Council's tracker, 112 nations around the world are at some stage of implementing a CBDC, including Australia, India, Canada, and Brazil, nations that account for more than 95% of the world's total GDP. In other words, a CBDC will be coming your way very, very soon. Rishi Sunak is the new Prime Minister of the UK, but in his previous role as Finance Minister, he said CBDCs would be a safe and secure form of new money, and one that would foster inclusion. The US Federal Reserve says a CBDC would be the safest form of money available and offer an improvement on safety when compared to the current monetary system. The International Monetary Fund also says CBDCs would be more secure than traditional money and offer more safety due to not being as volatile as currently available cryptocurrencies. And the World Economic Forum believes that CBDCs will help promote financial inclusion around the world, as well as providing more safety and security by cutting down on financial crime. But the thing is, not everyone is so optimistic about CBDCs, with an article by Forbes summing up many people's concerns in a single headline, stating very simply, central bank digital currencies are about control. In a CBDC would allow your government to track almost everything you do, what you buy, when you buy it, and who you buy it from. But as reported by the New Yorker, chances are your government is already spying on you in this way, with at least 45 nations, including Germany, Poland, and the US, possibly illegally collecting data on their citizens today. CBDC would give your government a level of power it's never had in history. And the most worrying part isn't necessarily that they would have access to all your financial data. It comes from the fact that a CBDC would be programmable, like the rules of a video game. Your government could program your money and the way it can be used. For example, It could be programmed so that you could only spend it on certain government-approved items, or completely block you from purchasing some others. For example, again, only items your government deems to be essential. With a CBDC, they could also directly control how much of your money you spend, hypothetically limiting you so you could only spend a certain amount of money each day, or on the other hand, forcing you to spend all of it by a certain time period. And if you didn't, your money would just vanish from your account. Let's say your country's economy is struggling or stagnating. Your government could stimulate the economy by forcing citizens to go out and spend their money. This would be very easily possible with a programmable CBDC. First, your government could set your savings to expire within 30 days. Now, obviously, most people wouldn't want their money to just vanish, so instead would go out and spend it, causing money to flow through the economy. In other words, the exact outcome your government wants, enabling them to engineer the behaviour of citizens. Another very plausible way a CBDC could be used to control the way you use money is by controlling your carbon output. We all know our world has become obsessed with carbon emissions, and very soon most of us will have a personal carbon limit enforced upon us, something already being tested or talked about in many nations on Earth. As a CBDC would give your government access to your entire purchase history, they could also calculate your carbon usage, and if you go over your monthly limit, they could force you to stop creating more. For example, by using a CBDC to block you from buying gas for your car or a plane ticket, they could even cancel your ability to buy so-called high-carbon food items like meat, coffee, or rice. But instead of stopping you from buying these items, they could just fine you for producing extra CO2. And because they hold your money already, these fines could just automatically be removed from your account. These are just two examples of the powers a CBDC would give your government because of the programmable nature of this money. There